Hello, and welcome to this video where I will be showing you the benefits of giving your schools access to Speedadmin and what the endless possibilities are. As you can see, I am logged in as a school contact. Every school contact that you have on the school data card below will be given their own login information, which is good because you can track them what they are doing. When they log in, they have a portal just like teachers, super users, and parents that you can tailor. What we've done here is this is our test database. So we've put in news where we're advertising Easter Academy for schools to sign up. We've got the charges of the schools and also the school contact should they have charges for their own students, as in their children. We've got lists that we've published, the holiday plan, and any last messages. When you're on this front page, like I mentioned, you can tailor everything. They're able to see their charges, and this is a main question we get all the time. If they click on View Outstanding Charges, they're actually able to download the invoices that you've emailed across to them, saving you having to print them out and possibly post them. So they're able to see everything all within one screen and able to download by clicking Download, and also paying via card if that's how they choose to pay. Going back to the start page, the list that we've got here are all ones that we've created in Speedadmin and just published to the school portals. So we think obviously like they would like to see the attendance of pupils. So by clicking on here and putting in some date ranges, it could be that your students are heavily supported by the school, so they actually want to make sure that the students are attending their lessons, and they would be able to see so like this. This is our test database, so obviously these students haven't got any attendance marked by our teachers, but your ones would be completed because your teachers do mark attendance. Scrolling back up to the top, we've then got any cancelled lessons that have taken place in the school, which again you can create all of these reports yourselves and add as many or as little fields as you want. But this cancelled one is a really good one for them to have because they're able to see when it was cancelled and if and when it's being rescheduled by which teacher. And also instrument hires one, high level overview here of the instruments that they currently have out on hire. They're then able to go onto the school profile themselves to see the basic information, gain hired instruments, any students that are going to that school but maybe having lessons at a music centre, their charges tab down here, the ensembles that that school currently has, when the next booking is. The estimated price here is for the hourly rate ensembles, whereas the fixed price has a 0 in here because that is fixed already and would be in the charges tab. So as you can see here, these are those fixed ones with the prices. And then where you've got the hourly rates, they're able to see the breakdown if you had more than one, how much every one is actually costing them. You can also create extra tabs on schools as well. As you can see here, we built an engagement one that you can, again, create and not necessarily make it visible for the schools, but for yourselves as a service, you would be able to say, well, they have given us consent to, use their media, any comments about the school, and yes, we have done a site visit recently. These could be date fields, it could be as much information as you want or as little. They then have their own profile, and the dashboard is an important one. So this is again a high level overview of what's taking place in their school, the students that are having lessons, pupils that are on the waiting list, any rejected applications, pupils that have discontinued, and any that have requested a tuition discount. Down below, they're able to see what teachers are at their school. And by clicking on the teacher, they could actually click on timetable and see any lessons that are taking place, like so. They won't be able to see the whole teacher's timetable, only what's happening in their school. You can also give them the right to add students to your waiting list. So again, if a school is paying for a student, they're able to add the student in here. I shall give you a quick example. And then in here, we make sure that we select the correct school and test 6. And this school is actually Cruncham Hall. and continue. So you can put the guardian details on here as well. So if you do have parents that are unable to use technology, the school could do it on their behalf by filling in this information. But if the school is paying for it, there's no need for the guardian information. You can select skip guardian. And then you go, well, I'm going to assign the student to the waiting list, pick the course, which is what is available at their school. It only will give them the school that they are doing it on behalf. They make sure that the payer is going to be the school or the guardian if they're doing it on behalf of the parents, and then they add to the waiting list course. The next part is the school provision request. So this is really beneficial for schools to have and yourselves to track any whole class or other offers that you have at schools all within Speedadmin. So they would click on school provision request. They can filter it by subject area. If you have a lot of courses that are available to schools, they will need to use the subject area to filter because there is a cap on how many will show on this actual page. So they can just choose first access as an example. They can click on show more, which gives them, well, this one's a termly fee of £100, this one's 150, and the more we go down, see we've got here that you can have first access as a termly fee or an hourly rate, and they would select request tuition and complete this application form. There are quite a few questions. The only one that is mandatory is the start date. So as you can see, it will pre-populate the minutes per week, the number of lessons based on what is in your course type. They can decide whether or not they need instruments. And if you haven't spoken to them, you can say that they can select, 3 times when they're possible to have this. I always found this very helpful when trying to find a teacher to say, they want this taking place on a Monday. Do you have space? Yes or no? And then also this information down here is to help with the Arts Council data returns so that you start to get some more information from the schools themselves. They have to agree to your terms and conditions, which is set up in a different area, and then the application form will come through to yourselves. They can then monitor their tuition by clicking on requested tuition or school provision. And as you can see here, it's come through. There's 3 new applications that are waiting to be assessed by your admin team. If it says pending school, that means that the admin team have sent it back with a question for the school. They would then be able to complete the answer and send it back to them. Pending admin shows that your admin are waiting to do something, and completed is showing you all of the ensembles that they have for this academic year. The other good thing is that if you've got a school who's got many, as you can see, first access 45 minutes, they could just create a copy of the request, which will just redo the application form again. It will mirror what was in the original one, and they just pick the course again and they submit that. When it comes to the new academic year, if I just switch back a year, when they go to their ensembles tab, and they are able to say, well, yes, we want this to continue in the next academic year. So around April time, Easter time, is when services start to ask schools what they want. They can direct them to come into their Speedadmin, click on their ensembles tab, and agree whether or not they do want to have this ensemble continuing in the next academic year. If they don't, they simply just leave it and they create new ones should they want to. There is also the Ensemble Whole Class tab, which just looks like what you guys see as super users, but it's filtered already for their schools about current and upcoming ones this year. They can select all on this side, which shows ones that were there and are not there anymore. Bearing in mind I was in the previous academic year, I've just come into this one now. But current and upcoming is mostly the one that the filter will be on because they want to see what's happening now and what's coming up in the next couple of weeks. If you have any questions about this video or would like more information, please let us know. There are guides and videos on the school provision request setup. There's one that you can send to the schools to show them how to use Speedadmin, and there's one for yourselves to be able to set that up within Speedadmin. Thank you very much for listening.